Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's video. Going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days for today's video. So day 10 will take us around the 25th of July. We'll be able to extend out beyond that with extended GFS and ECM ensembles, maybe around a couple of weeks. Have a look at CFS V2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks. And that will take us into the early part of August, of course. We'll go in further than that, actually, as a little bit of a surprise at the very end of the video. I'll show you some CFS charts from the weather outlook for the next few months. A little bit of an eye-opener, though, so hang around to the very end of the video. Well, just say that first video released today was our 7 AM forecast. We've also released the European Outlook, as always, on a Thursday, having a look at the weather in detail for the next week, 10 days across Europe. So have a look at those two videos if you would like to do that. Thank you so much to Sally for covering for me yesterday with the 7 AM forecast. I've been a little bit poorly this week with the wisdom tooth and having an infection, abscess on my back tooth. So I'm on antibiotics. I'm feeling a lot better now. The tooth is coming out on Tuesday, and then hopefully that's the end of this little saga. But I am feeling quite a lot better. Still got a bit of swelling and whatnot, but I'm in nowhere near as much pain, so I'm able to do some videos finally. But thank you so much to Sal for covering yesterday. As always, thank you so much to my furry friend for covering for me when I'm away. So Savvy's 7 AM forecast yesterday was absolutely fantastic as always. So thank you so much to Savvy for covering. And yeah, I'm back with some videos for you now. I won't be live streaming tomorrow night. No Friday night live stream. I think that'll be a little bit too much. You know, after how I've been. So, no Friday night live stream. I'm hoping to do a channel members live stream on Saturday. So if you're a channel member and you're around the channel at 5 PM on Saturday, I think I'll be up for that. And as far as Sunday's live stream is concerned, I'll just let everybody know, you know, over the weekend how I'm feeling. But hopefully we'll be able to do Sunday's live stream as well. So other than the Friday night live stream, everything should, hopefully, fingers crossed, be back to normal. Until I have the tooth out anyway, and then we'll see how I get on after having that pulled out. Right, so just say that merch has launched on the channel, so if you'd like a little bit of GavsWeatherVids merch, this is the GavsWeatherVids Teespring merch store. So we've got it all here for you. We've got face masks, we've got iPhone cases, we've got stickers, including including a Do It sticker. We've got pillows, we've got beach towels, we've got mugs, we've got t-shirts, we've got hoodies, we've got tank tops, and we've got a ladies' flowy tank top as well, and a glass too. It's all out there. Flowy tank top, I think that is. It's all out there for you, so if you want a bit of GavsWeatherVids merch, then check out the GavsWeatherVids Teespring store. There is a merch shelf that's just underneath this video as well, so have a browse through our merch shelf here on YouTube and check it out. And thank you so much everybody who's brought merch. There's been quite a few purchases so far, so thank you so much to all of you who have got involved and brought some merch to GavsWeatherVids. You're helping to support the channel, you know, just another revenue stream along with like Patreon and channel membership and PayPal and everything else, and super chats as well on the live stream. So hope you support GavsWeatherVids. Thank you so much, everybody. Right, okay, let's get on with the video then. So we're going to start off having a look at central evening temperature. So CET is still hovering around 17 degrees. We're virtually halfway through the month now, of course. So the CET provisional up to the 14th, almost, not quite, mid-month is standing at 17.1. That's an anomaly of just over 1 degree above average. So it has been a very warm start to July. Now, I was thinking, like a couple of days ago when I did the last 10 to 14 day, that this will probably go up to 18 degrees next week. I don't think it will now, because although we are going to get quite a warm weekend, and you know, a hot day is coming up on Sunday, I think next week temperatures will slide away again. So I don't think this is going to go up to the 18s. I think this will go to like mid to upper 17s by the early part of next week, and then we'll probably start to fall away, you know, or hold steady, maybe drop a little bit through the early part of next week. So it'll be interesting where the CT finishes up for July. It's probably going to be, I think, going to be warmer than average month, but we just have to wait and see how much above average it's going to be. But I think the chance of getting into the 18s with this now is reduced because next week does not look as hot as it did like 2 or 3 days ago. Although we will get a hot day on Sunday with temperatures going into the low 30s Celsius. But after that, I think we'll see the temperature falling away. This is UKV, this high-res model from the Weather Outlook. These are the temperatures that we've got coming up over the next few days. So today's maximum temperature is going to be down across these. Today's maximum temperature is going to be down across the southern, southwestern parts of the country up to around 25 degrees still this afternoon. That's 77 Fahrenheit. Otherwise, it's a little bit cooler across many parts of the country because there is more cloud around than was the case yesterday. Right, I'm going to try and find the right timestamps. So I think the next one will be 36. That's it. So tomorrow's maximum temperatures will be for like central England, up to around 26, 27 degrees. That's around 80 Fahrenheit. So very warm across many parts of the country tomorrow. Then we get through to Saturday afternoon. That's it, and we're up into the upper 20s. Then highest temperatures with that on Saturday afternoon, like into eastern parts of England, northeast England, a little bit unusually so. Temperatures up to around 28 or 29, so hovering on the door of 30 degrees on Saturday afternoon. Most places are like into upper 20s, Celsius 27, 28. So Saturday is quite a hot day, but the peak of the temperature, I think, is actually going to be on Sunday, where we see temperatures widely going into below 30s. It's 30, 31 degrees quite widely through much of eastern Wales, the Midlands, into eastern England. So that's heading to like 86, 88 Fahrenheit. These are very, very accurate, these charts. They tend to be, these forecast charts. UKV is like the highest resolution model you can get. It is the best. And now freely available at the Weather Outlook. So do check out UKV at the Weather Outlook. So I don't think these tend to, you have a GFS, you only have to add 2 or 3 degrees on. I don't think that's necessarily the case with UKV. So that might be it. But I suppose there's a chance we might get to 32 somewhere, which would be 90 Fahrenheit. But then we go through to Monday. And you can see how the temperature is beginning to lower, especially across more northern areas. Although down in the south, it is still a pretty hot day being forecast on Monday as well, actually, with temperature at around 30 or 31 degrees. But gradually through the early part of next week, we will see those temperatures beginning to slide away. So that's as far as we get to with UKV, which will be to around 3 a.m. on Tuesday, by which time it is still very warm, you'll notice, across these southern areas. So even then, into 3 a.m. on Tuesday, the temperature's still holding up into the upper teen Celsius. But notice how it does get cooler the further north you go. And I think gradually through the course of next week, you will see those cooler temperatures beginning to slip southwards. That's how it's looking at the moment anyway. But of course, it might be that cooler air from the east northeast does not get as far south as we think. So it's one to watch. It might turn out to be a little bit hotter early next week than anticipated. But at the moment, I think the idea is that the peak of the temperature is like on Sunday, possibly for the south on Monday, and then temperature slides away a little bit through the early to middle part of next week. These are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles the next couple of weeks. We're looking at Fort William today. Now, somebody asked me to have a look at Oban, and unfortunately, I can't get Oban up on the on the list of places at West Central. They don't show every single place. It's a little bit strange because Oban is apparently a slightly bigger town than Fort William. So if they're showing Fort William, you think they show Oban, but apparently they don't. Anyway, so the nearest place I can get to Oban is to Fort William. So these are GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for Fort William. You can see it's going to be widely above average over the next week to 10 days. Not excessively hot. We're not talking about extreme levels of heat here. Not going up to like above 15 degrees, 858 pH. They're not going to like 20 degrees and whatnot. But nevertheless, still above average, still quite warm, and occasionally, for southern areas anyway, hot for a while. We can see as we go through the last week of July, that's this period just here, we have a definite slide in the temperature, upper air temperature and surface temperature taking place then. Precipitation-wise, there will be a lot of dry weather over the next few days, but as we go on into like the final week of July, week 2, I suppose, for the forecast period, then we see the precipitation spikes are coming back. So it does look as though the last week of July might be turning cooler, and it might be turning more unsettled as well. It's a possibility that could be happening. Temperature anomalies from the 15th to 23rd of July are looking warmer than average of the UK for Ireland and through most parts of Europe. It has to be said, precipitation anomalies from the 15th to 23rd of July are going to be drier than normal. Latest wind flow map from earthnullschool.net shows that high pressure is moving in from off the Atlantic, bringing plenty of dry weather with it. At the moment, we're still bringing in a little bit of a north-northeasterly wind across England and Wales, so there's a band of cloud being sailboards, but once that gets out of the way, we're sat under high pressure through Friday and the weekend. There will be bags of sunshine to enjoy as well. Okay, so let's have a look at some generic charts, shall we? And I'll just put the webcam back up with this, I think. Hello, I've returned. Right, okay, so let's start going through the generic charts. Going to start off with the weather outlook. So this is our weather outlook is, this is how the UK Met App weather outlook, I suppose I should say, is looking for midnight on Sunday. So we're sat under a big area of high pressure on Sunday. Going to be hot on Sunday for many parts of the country, especially so down in the south. Monday, that high pressure just begins to inch a little bit further to our west, so we start to bring in something a bit cooler into northern and northeastern parts of the country. High pressure is centred over the country as we go through into Tuesday, so quite how much of that those cooler upper air temperatures we infiltrate into that high pressure does remain to be seen. Western areas might be hottest, actually, for the early part of next week, with eastern areas tend to be that little bit cooler. High pressure as we get through to Wednesday is still there. Saturday we get through loads of dry and very warm weather through the early part of next week. And maybe get through to Thursday. High pressure is still there, but just begin to weaken a little bit. Notice this low out to the west of Ireland. There is also a heat low beginning to push out of Spain towards Biscay. And that probably hints that by the end of next week we're going into a thundery breakdown, I would have thought. But probably increasing the temperature again, actually. Probably lifting temperature back up from the south through the second half of next week, but turning thundery with it. Now, this is how the GFS midnight run was looking. So we've got high pressure dominating over the weekend. Going to be a barbecue weekend. Get the barbecue on, and it's going to be very warm to hot across many parts of the country. That carries on into Monday, although beginning to bring some cooler air into that high pressure from the north and from the northeast as well. Tuesday, the high pressure is sort of over to west of the country around the high. We're bringing in the wind from the North Sea, so it will be that little bit cooler across southern and east area, but still very warm. Don't get me wrong, temperatures will still be into the mid-20s Celsius at the very least. And for western and northwest areas, that's where the hottest temperatures might be, a little bit unusual through the early part of next week. Middle of the week, high pressure still dominates, brings lots of dry weather as well. But by the end of next week, just hinting that pressure is weakening, just a general weakening of pressure, and some lower pressure is beginning to develop to our southwest. That actually develops into a thundery low by the time we get through to midnight on Saturday. So Friday is a proper breakdown day with a thundery low pushing northwards, bringing risk of heavy rain and thunderstorms potentially to England and Wales. It's over a week away, but, you know, we might be doing storm watch next week, who knows. By day 10, that thundery low is moving into the North Sea, and then it looks like we're starting to reinvigorate the jet stream a little bit, starting to move low pressure in towards the UK from off the North Atlantic, and then we're going to a much more mobile sort of final week to July, with low pressure coming in off the Atlantic, bringing spells of rain and cooler temperatures too as wind turns into the northwest. So definitely a cooler, sort of more unsettled look to weather through the last week of July. And then we get through to 6Z, which is very latest GFS run. Of course, again, high pressure dominates weather, sitting over and to west of the country as well, bringing a hot day on Saturday. Saturday will be very warm to hot, and Sunday will be hot, particularly for the south. Monday, still very warm to hot, probably down in the south, a little bit cooler though up in the north and through the middle part of next week. Just again, bring wind in off the North Sea, might temper the heat a little bit for southern and eastern areas and start to cool down those temperatures slightly. Notice this Fungi low is over France on Wednesday. That's trying to push northwards. And as high pressure begins to ease out into the Atlantic, this Fungi low does come northwards through Thursday and into Friday, potentially bring risk of further storms to more southern and eastern parts of the country, and a cool down as well as winds go into the north and to the northeast too. Heading up towards day 10, a little bit more activity in the Atlantic beginning to appear. What's that going to do? Let's have a look. So eventually, through the last week of July, again, same idea, GFS 6Z, we begin to move low pressure in from off the Atlantic. That brings a much more unsettled and cooler look to the weather through the last week of July, with showers or longer spells of rain, particularly for more northern areas with that. By the very end of a GFS run, which today gets us to the last day of July, actually, Saturday the 31st. Again, looks more mobile, doesn't it? We're actually under a little bit of a transient ridge there, so it's a drier day, but there's low pressure downstream, and that looks much more looks much more mobile as we're moving to the end of July, and possibly setting up a traditionally unsettled start to August. We know that so often with our summers we seem to get lots of dry, high pressure weather in June and July, and then we get to August and you know, we're in the school holidays and the weather breaks and it turns unsettled. Is that going to be another year where that happens? We shall see. Right, if you enjoyed this video, please smash the like button. Everybody, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for doing that, and drop a comment, let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. Thank you so much. Right, this is how the GM is looking then. So on Sunday, high pressure again sitting over and to west of the country, bring loads of dry, fine and very warm or maybe quite hot weather. That high pressure is still in control of weather on Monday, just about to bring in something a little bit cooler from the North Sea by Monday. But to be honest, the early part of next week looks set there, and although temperatures might drop a little bit from where they are on Sunday, it's still going to be very warm through the early part of next week. Into the second half of next week, again, just the idea that pressure weakens. We don't necessarily go to low pressure, but a general weakening of pressure through the second half of next week possibly allows Fungi breakdown to begin to take place. There is an area of low pressure there to the west of Biscay. And again, we don't bring a particularly deep area of low pressure into the country with the GM, but there is a suggestion there that pressure weakens and it gradually turns more and more showery, I think, as we get in towards the last week of July. And then we've got the ECM looking like this. So again, high pressure is centered over to west of the country, bringing loads of dry, warm, quite hot weather on Sunday. Into Monday, something a little bit cooler coming around the edge of high pressure in from the east and from the northeast. So western northwest areas could still be quite hot. Tuesday through to Wednesday, it's a high pressure dominated scene, so it's going to be plenty of dry and very warm weather with that. High pressure is still there as we go through to Thursday, although there's a bit of a shallow trough within that, might bring some showers. And then into Friday, high pressure is still there, actually, not breaking down. So out of all of Mars, I think the ECM is the hottest and driest for next week, to be honest. And then we move up towards day 10, and by then we're beginning to pressure weakening. Again, a general weakening of pressure, possibly allowing for showers, maybe thunderstorms to begin to break out by day 10. This is the precipitation type forecast based on that ECM run from Meteo.com. Loads of dry weather coming up over the next few days. Of course, there's going to be high and dry. High pressure will be dominating. Could be a few showers there from the early part of next week, but just as the temperature begins to lower a little bit, we're pulling in wind from off North Sea. Not a great deal of rain, but definitely there could be some showers around through the early part of next week in more eastern areas. However, really weather set there through most of next week still, with high pressure in control of the weather. As we get to day 10, we might just be hinting at a few showers breaking out more western areas, but generally ECM is mostly dry in most areas for the next 10 days. Right, let's have a look at the option on the table within the ECM ensembles for day 10 then, by the Icelandic Met Office. So this will get us, of course, this is going to get us to the 25th of July. We have 20 members of the ECM ensembles, including the control and the operational run, with above average heights to our north and northwest, and we're bringing wind from an easterly direction. There's a little bit of a shallow trough around here that might be heating a bit of a Fungi breakdown. 17 with high pressure again to the north and to the northwest, looking very similar, but the difference with this is that pressure, the shallow trough is a little bit deeper and further northwards, so that hints at even more at a bit of a thundering breakdown going on there. And then 14 with high pressure just out to our west, so mainly dry, but we have changed wind direction with bows, and we're bringing something a little bit cooler from the north and from the northwest. In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. It gets us pretty much to the end of July, 30th of month. 24 members of the ECM ensembles have high pressure just to our west. Around the high, we'll be bringing in the wind from the northwest, so that's cooler and could be a bit showery for more northern and east areas. 19 actually have us under a trough of below average height, something we've not seen for quite some time. So a trough of low pressure with those 19 centred over top of the country. Obviously, that is a much cooler and also much more unsettled scenario. And then 8 have high pressure just to our west and northwest, mainly dry with that around the high. We're probably bringing the wind from more of an east-northeasterly direction, actually. So that's probably going to be the driest, warmest option with high pressure. It's not quite centred over top of the country, but it's more or less centred over top of the country. But only 8 doing that. Generally, I think by the end of July, we could be into something cooler and a little bit more showery, shall we say, not necessarily that unsettled. Right, CFSV2 data, and then we're done. So these are 500 millibar heights broken down into week periods. The first week period takes from 15th to 21st of July, the coming week, of course, has high pressure dominating. We are high and dry in the week ahead. So, yeah, high pressure is well and truly in control of weather in the week ahead. Week 2 looks a bit of a breakdown week. It's the 22nd, 28th of July, high pressure to our east-northeast, but low pressure developing to our southwest. Could be very warm, possibly hot, and hints at thunder pushing in from the south and from the southwest. Week 3 is the 29th of July to the 4th of August. High pressure weakens and recedes back into the east of Europe. Also, high pressure pulling out into the middle of the Atlantic. This area is interesting because it doesn't really show much, but there's probably going to be a showery trough there, I would have thought, or a trough of low pressure within, between the two ridges, if you like. There'll probably be a trough of low pressure beginning to set up, so that could be starting to turn cooler and more unsettled. And by week 4, which is the 5th through to the 11th of August, we've got high pressure blocking around Greenland and Iceland with low pressure moving in from off the Atlantic. And so obviously that is much more unsettled and potentially a little bit on the cool side as well. But of course it is 4 weeks away, so not necessarily worth worrying about all that much. Before we go, I did promise you that we'd have a look at the charts from the CFS from the Weather Outlook. So this is based on one of the 4 CFS daily runs. And I don't often show these, but I thought, why not? Why not include this at the end of the video as a little bit of a treat? So we'll go through the next few months' worth of data before we're done. This is the kind of thing we do on the live stream on a Sunday. So if you're interested in this sort of longer range stuff, make sure you have a look at our Sunday live streams at 6 p.m. because this is the kind of stuff we focus on in the live streams. Right, so it's July, of course, anticyclonic month overall. So this is the 500 millibar high predominantly indicating anticyclonic July, which we know is pretty much what we've had, even if the last week of the month does turn more unsettled. August, by this CFS run, these change daily, by the way. So if you look at these charts today, Thursday, then you'll see these charts, but tomorrow you won't see these. It'll show another CFS run. But August shows high pressure going north. Although still a little bit of a ridge to our east, but there's lower pressure beginning to develop around here. So I think August could be going a little bit more unsettled and cooler, actually, as the high pressure begins to push northwards towards Iceland and Greenland. September looks unsettled with low pressure just out to our west. High pressure pulling right way into the middle of the Atlantic as well. So we open the door to a westerly flow. September, quite an unsettled and potentially wet and quite cool month. October goes anticyclonic with high pressure setting up more or less over top of the UK and much of West Europe. So quite a cool, wet September followed by a dry and you would have thought relatively warm October. November looks like that. A little bit wintry potential, perhaps, for November, with high pressure up towards Greenland and a trough of below average heights, low pressure across Scandinavia and Northern Europe. That, of course, pulls the wind in from the north, so that would bring, like, quite a cold, potentially even sort of wintry November. There is wintry potential with that in November, as winds will be in from the north. December looks like that. What a month that would be if it came off really extensive northern blocking around Greenland and extending back into the Arctic with this trough of low pressure across northern and western Europe. Now you know why I decided to show this today, don't you? Is that hinting at a December to remember? Again, are we going to, shades of 2010, relive December 2010, when it's a long way off, of course. But that would be exciting if that came off with loads of potential for snow and cold northeasterly winds in December. Then we lose that in January. As often happens, actually, when we have like a very cold early winter, we lose it later on. So January sees high pressure. There's still a lot of blocking around Greenland and into the Arctic, by the way, but it's sending most of the cold air down into North America with that, and also into Russia. We lose the block and we go on to the mild side of the block and draw the wind in from like a west or southwesterly direction. So January turning a lot milder. And then as far as I'll go to with this is February. When actually the cold signal comes back a little bit in February, the blocking sort of reorganises itself back to our side of the Arctic and Greenland. And so the trough of low pressure then is digging in again across northern and central Europe. And again, that could hint, it's not as impressive as December, but it could hint at like the wind going back into the north-northeast quite a bit through February and bringing the cold weather back, actually. That would be quite unusual if that happened. Generally, when you have a very cold sort of early winter, like we had in 2010, after Christmas it will go, and usually it doesn't come back. So January and February, as happened like in January and February 2011, go much milder. But, we'll see anyway. It's all a long way off. It's all very speculative. It's just for fun, really. But it's like to give a plug, I suppose, for the steady live streams. That's the kind of thing you enjoy. Speculation and looking at interesting long-range charts. And do check out the Sunday evening live streams. We live stream every Sunday at 6 p.m. So have a look, and that's the kind of thing we do on our Sunday live streams. Right, last thing to say is that if you've enjoyed this video, please can you smash the like button. Make sure you're subscribed to our channel. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing this for GavsWeatherVids. Tell your friends, family, and everybody else to subscribe. It's amazing. Thank you so much for doing that. And drop a comment and let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. We're going to put on around another 50 subscribers to get to 11.5k now, I think. So we're getting closer to 11,500 subscribers. So when we get to that level, then we start thinking about 12k, I suppose, of course. Now, if you subscribe, you're going to be able to see future weather content, including future live streams and long-range updates. So thank you so much for doing that. Right, we're done then. So that was quite an extended video, wasn't it? So I hope you found it interesting and informative. That's it for today's videos. Tomorrow I've got a 7 a.m. forecast coming up for you again. We'll have a 10 to 14 day January Friday as well tomorrow. So keep checking back to the channel for all of the updates. No Friday live stream, remember. But for this one, that's all for now. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday. Bye for now.